Hi, Jason. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited for today's topic because I know many of our listeners want to improve their English speaking skills.
Yes. And today, we are going to talk about something that can really make a difference in the way you speak English. Speaking clearly and confidently.
Exactly. Speaking clearly helps people understand you easily, and speaking confidently makes you sound natural and fluent. These two skills go hand in hand.
That's right. In this episode, we'll discuss why clarity and confidence matter, common challenges English learners face, and practical tips to improve both.
Plus, we'll share some simple exercises that can help you speak more clearly and feel more confident in your English conversations.
So, if you've ever felt nervous speaking English or struggled with pronunciation, stay with us. This episode is for you.
And by the end of this podcast, you'll have actionable steps to improve your speaking skills.
All right, let's get started. So, Julia, let's start with the big question. Why is it so important to speak English clearly and confidently?
Great question, Jason. When you speak clearly, people understand you without confusion or frustration. If your words are unclear, even if your grammar is perfect, communication becomes difficult.
That's a really good point. I've seen many learners focus only on grammar, but if their pronunciation isn't clear, they still struggle to communicate.
Exactly. And confidence plays a huge role too. If you sound hesitant, nervous, or unsure, people might think you don't know English well, even if you do.
Right. Speaking confidently makes a big difference in how people perceive you. Think about it. When someone speaks with confidence, even if they make small mistakes, we still trust what they're saying.
Yes. And that's why both clarity and confidence are key. If you speak clearly, people understand you. If you speak confidently, people listen to you.
That's so true. And when you speak with confidence, it actually makes you feel more confident too.
Absolutely. It's like a positive cycle. The more confident you sound, the more people respond well to you, and the more confident you become.
I love that. But I know many English learners struggle with these things. Let's talk about some common challenges they face when trying to speak clearly and confidently.
Great idea. Let's dive into that next.
Now that we understand why speaking clearly and confidently is so important, let's talk about some of the common challenges English learners face when trying to improve their speaking skills.
Yes. A lot of learners struggle with pronunciation, mumbling, speaking too fast, and lack of confidence.
That's true. Let's break these down one by one. First, pronunciation. Many English learners find it hard to pronounce certain sounds correctly. Why does that happen?
Well, it's usually because those sounds don't exist in their native language. For example, many learners have trouble with sounds like th in think or r and l in words like right and light.
That makes sense. And if they don't practice, they might keep pronouncing those words incorrectly, which makes their speech unclear.
Exactly. And then there's mumbling. Some learners speak too softly or don't open their mouths enough, which makes their words unclear.
Oh, yes. I've heard many learners swallow their words or speak in a way that's hard to understand.
Right. And sometimes learners speak too fast because they're nervous or trying to sound fluent. But speaking too fast can actually make them less clear.
That's a great point. I always tell learners that slowing down actually makes them sound more natural and confident.
Exactly. And of course, the biggest challenge is lack of confidence. Many learners are afraid of making mistakes, so they hesitate, avoid speaking, or speak in a very low voice.
I totally get that. The fear of being judged or making mistakes can really hold people back.
Yes, but mistakes are a natural part of learning. Even native speakers make mistakes sometimes.
That's true. So, now that we know these challenges, the big question is, how can learners improve their pronunciation and speak more clearly?
Great question. let's talk about some practical techniques to improve clarity in speaking.
Now that we know the common challenges, let's talk about how to improve pronunciation and speak more clearly. Julia, what's the first thing English learners should focus on?
The first and most important thing is listening carefully. If you want to pronounce words correctly, you need to hear how native speakers say them.
That's a great point. So, listening to podcasts, audiobooks, movies, and conversations can really help learners recognize correct pronunciation.
Exactly. And not just listening, mimicking what native speakers say is a powerful exercise. It's called shadowing.
Oh, yes. Shadowing means listening to a sentence and immediately repeating it, trying to copy the pronunciation and rhythm.
Right. This helps with pronunciation, intonation, and fluency. Learners can start with short phrases and slowly work their way up to full sentences.
That's an amazing tip. What about difficult sounds like th in think or r and l in right and light?
Great question. To improve tricky sounds, learners need targeted pronunciation practice. They can do this by watching YouTube videos on pronunciation, using online dictionaries that have audio for words, practicing with tongue twisters like "She sells seashells by the seashore."
Oh, tongue twisters are so much fun. They help train the mouth to pronounce sounds correctly.
Exactly. And another tip is speaking slowly and clearly. Many learners think speaking fast makes them sound fluent, but actually it can make them less clear.
That's so true. Slowing down gives your mouth time to form words properly. It also gives your listener time to understand you.
Yes. And another technique is recording yourself. When you record your voice and listen to it, you can hear what needs improvement.
That's a great self-improvement trick. You can compare your pronunciation with native speakers and make small adjustments.
Right. And the last tip, open your mouth more when you speak. Some learners mumble because they don't move their lips enough.
Yes, opening your mouth and pronouncing every sound clearly makes a huge difference.
Absolutely. So let's summarize. 1. Listen to native speakers. 2. Shadow and repeat what you hear. 3. Practice difficult sounds using tongue twisters. 4. Slow down and focus on clarity. 5. Record yourself to check your pronunciation. 6. Open your mouth and articulate sounds properly.
Those are excellent strategies. Now that we've covered pronunciation and clarity, let's move on to how to build confidence while speaking.
Yes, because even with great pronunciation, if you're not confident, speaking can still feel difficult. Let's dive into that next.
Now that we've talked about improving pronunciation and clarity, let's move on to another key topic: building confidence in speaking. Julia, why do you think confidence is so important when speaking English?
Well, Jason, confidence makes a huge difference in how people communicate. Even if someone has good grammar and vocabulary, if they sound nervous or unsure, their message won't be as strong.
That's so true. Many learners know what to say but hesitate because they're afraid of making mistakes.
Exactly. And the first thing I always tell learners is, making mistakes is part of learning. Even native speakers make mistakes, so don't be afraid to speak.
I love that. No one speaks perfectly all the time, but I know confidence doesn't just appear overnight. What are some practical ways learners can build confidence in speaking?
Great question. Here are some effective strategies. Practice speaking every day. The more you practice, the more natural speaking becomes. Even just 5 to 10 minutes a day can make a big difference. Talk to yourself in English. Describe what you're doing, your plans for the day, or even your thoughts. It helps develop fluency.
That's a great tip. Speaking to yourself removes the fear of judgment and helps you get comfortable with English.
Exactly. Another strategy is thinking in English. Instead of translating from your native language, try to form sentences directly in English.
Oh, that's so important. Thinking in English makes speaking faster and more natural.
Yes, and another powerful technique is recording yourself. We talked about this for pronunciation, but it also builds confidence. When you listen to your recordings, you realize you sound better than you thought.
That's true. Many learners feel nervous because they think they sound bad. But when they listen to themselves, they realize they're actually improving.
Right. Another tip is practicing with a mirror. When you see yourself speaking, you can improve your body language, facial expressions, and overall confidence.
Oh, I love that. Confident body language makes you feel more confident, and that shows in your speech.
Yes. And of course, one of the best ways to build confidence is speaking with real people.
Absolutely. Whether it's a language exchange partner, a teacher, or even a friend, speaking with others helps you get used to real conversations.
Exactly. And if you don't have a partner, you can even use apps or join online speaking groups to practice.
That's a great idea. And I have one more tip. Don't compare yourself to others. Everyone learns at their own pace. Focus on your progress, not perfection.
That's so important. Comparing yourself can make you feel discouraged. Instead, celebrate your small wins and keep improving step by step.
Perfect. So, let's summarize the top confidence-building tips. 1. Practice speaking daily, even for just 5 to 10 minutes. 2. Talk to yourself. Describe things in English. Think in English. Stop translating. Record yourself. Hear your own progress. Use a mirror. Improve body language. Speak with real people. Join groups or language partners. 7. Don't compare yourself to others. Focus on your progress.
Those are fantastic tips. If learners follow them consistently, they will definitely feel more confident speaking English.
Absolutely. Now, to wrap things up, let's give our listeners some final actionable steps they can start using today.
Great idea. Let's do that next.
Now that we've talked about how to improve pronunciation and build confidence, let's give our listeners some practical exercises they can start using today. Julia, what's the first exercise you'd recommend?
One of the best exercises is shadowing. We mentioned this earlier, but let's explain exactly how to do it.
Great idea. So, shadowing means listening to a native speaker and repeating what they say as quickly and accurately as possible.
Right. You can use podcasts, audiobooks, or YouTube videos. Just pick a short sentence, play it, pause, and repeat it exactly the same way.
This helps with pronunciation, rhythm, and fluency. Start with slow speech and gradually increase your speed.
Yes. Another great exercise is reading aloud. Pick an article, a short story, or even song lyrics and read them out loud with clear pronunciation.
That's a simple but powerful technique.